I'm here with Brocktonian Annmarie Bobst. She's a hairdresser. She's had a business in Brockton for about 6 years now, Bobby Pins Hair Salon on Center Street, and she'd like to share her voice with me today.
Hi, I'm Annmarie Bobst, and I own a business in Brockton for 6 years, named after my brother, Bobby Pins Hair Salon. And I'm here because it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. That's why I got my purple on, and I've tried to get my story out as much as I can, seeing where the enterprise won't write it. I have been on social media for 4 years now. People think it's only election time that I come out, but it's all year if you go back and you look. And it's because Brady Carpenter beat my 4-year-old grandson, and the enterprise knew about it, and it was 3 weeks after a 4-year-old child was beat to death in a hotel in Brockton. And I called about my grandson that was 4 years old and was beat pretty brutally. And they said that they couldn't write about it because it would look political because he was Bill Carpenter's son. And it's not about politics. Domestic violence is something that people need to stand up against. It's a situation that is so deep, and it hurts so bad when you see a child go from an innocent little boy and just change completely into just anxiety and worrying, and to take that innocence from him, and it's just no justice. And I'm not just talking about in the justice system, I'm talking about the enterprise. They didn't write about it. It's been 4 years. They still know all the stuff that's gone on. I mean, it's just a passion of mine, and it's not right that people think that they can just not write about it because it's, election time. It's 4 years.
One of the things I talk about a lot is protecting children. I've pretty much accepted that adults are when it comes to like drugs and drug abuse and stuff. I've accepted that adults are going to do what they're going to do. It's about keeping it away from children and protecting children.
Right.
So that sort of relates to your concerns about child abuse. And if we're gonna move forward as a society, we've got to protect children so they're hardened to this world, in their teens now, early teens. I see a lot of children just hardened. There's a lot of good kids. I'm not saying everybody's, but every child that just gets ruined at an early age, there's a butterfly effect where
Exactly.
all kinds of things could happen as a result of that. Mm-hmm. So the first step to solving this issue is talking about it and not suppressing it and putting it out there into the public. Like the theme I'm trying to work on is every voice will be heard. I want everybody sitting at the table and saying, how can we make a better Brockton, a united Brockton? And
we need to start with our children and not let them be in an environment where they're seeing domestic violence and seeing drug abuse. And I have my hat goes out to anyone that suffers with any kind of opiate addiction or any kind of addiction. And that's not what this is about. This is about what children are seeing, what they're growing up in. I mean, we need to take care of our kids. We need to make it a better world.
A lot of stories I've heard about, addicted, opiate addiction and stuff. A lot of people are as a result of being a teenager, being plied with drugs at a party or some shady adult,
Pills.
That pushes them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time they get introduced to it, or they get slipped something, and then they form an addiction that way. So
your wisdom teeth pulled, you can get an injury in hockey or any kind of sport. And also, I seen an interview with someone that said it's easier for the younger ones to get pills than it is to get alcohol, and it's true. So we need to watch our kids. We need to see what's going on and talk to them and just try to try to make it a better place for them, easier.
Going a step further with that, I think our pensions at the state, federal, and municipal levels, we shouldn't be supporting all this the pharmaceutical cartels. We shouldn't be investing in, the city workers, state workers, federal workers. these unions should say, hey, we're not going to invest in the pharmaceutical cartel until it stops, pushing. I've read stories where like they test the water supplies and there's opiates in the water supply because it's so rampant. It's just like people are digesting it into the water supply. And
it's sad.
it gets clean, but I mean, you can theoretically go around with robots in the pipes and see who's, addicted to opiates.
Right. But on the note of domestic violence, if stand up for it. Stand up if you know about it. If someone's reaching out to you through email, through text, and they're asking for help them. Try to get them help, because if they're reaching out to you, most likely they're only getting that phone for a second, or they're using someone else's phone. So take that message and take it to the police, and take it wherever you have to take it. In my case, I couldn't really go to a lot of places because of the person that did abuse my grandson is the mayor's son. So I was kind of stopped at a lot of places, and people that say, oh, he had minor injuries, because police records say that, but the doctor records, it was multiple injuries, and this is child abuse. This is a 4-year-old, so don't stand up and say that it's not his father's fault. There was a lot of cover up here, and it started a lot with the enterprise, because they're the ones that told me that it was political. It looked political. So there's no place in politics for child abuse. So just stand up and do the right thing.
All I know too is apathy isn't the answer, and if I ever, if I get firsthand knowledge of something occurring, before me, I'm gonna do what I, think should be done to prevent the situation.
Right. That's what we all need to do.
Whatever means necessary. I'm not gonna go into the details of how I might,
right. But
deal with the situation. But
right.
It,
expose it.
Children are so innocent and precious. Like they're a great asset in this world.
Right, and there are kids. And kids are off limits. I'm sorry, they're just off limits. You don't harm a child, especially when they're not yours. You don't do that. You just changed a little kid's world forever.
Yeah.
And he'll never be the same little kid. But I'll keep fighting for him, and I'll be out there all the time and stand up for anyone. If I see something or anyone needs help, if they want to reach out and they want to inbox me or anything, I have some places that I can send you, to maybe get some outreach or something. I've learned a lot about this, and I'd love to share it if you need help. So reach out and just send a text or something if you're going through this. And don't let your kids see it. Don't let your kids be victims of it. Just get out.
So thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your voice.
Thanks for listening.
Take care.